Hi, welcome to the channel Coders Arc, where we unravel the world of coding and architecture together. In today's video, I'm going to show you how Data Cloud works from Salesforce in depth. If you have ever wondered about how the data is ingested, how it is vectorized, how it is made available for retrieval, I will cover all those core concepts here. By the end of this video, you will understand what terms like data streams, data lake objects, data model objects, indexes, chunks, vectors, retrievers, what all of these mean. What is Einstein Studio? What is a data explorer? How it is used within the prompts. So I'll cover all of that, and by the end of this video, you will be an expert in Data Cloud basic ingestion workflow. So without any further delay, let's dive right into it. Let's dive right into the Salesforce Data Cloud data flow architecture. We are going to start a demo with a CRM object, which is nothing but an object like opportunity account, or you can even choose any custom object. We are going to use the data stream to bring and connect that object and bring it into the raw data lake object. Data lake object is the first point of entry of any kind of data inside the data cloud. It's the entry point, so it's nothing but the raw immutable data storage. Then we will construct the data model object. This is the view of the data object within the data cloud. So basically you can construct a data model object by combining fields from one or more than one data lake objects, and you can choose what kind of object representation you want inside the data model object. You do that by using the data model field mapping. So there is a very comprehensive UI that allows you to map the fields from the DLOs into the DMO using the transformation. Finally, if you want to do some kind of semantic lookup, you need to convert the specific columns from the data model object into the vectors. So for that, you use the index creation mechanism, for which Salesforce provides a very comprehensive UI. And then you also need to use the retriever object to access these indexes. Indexes has two components. One is an actual chunk, which is nothing but an actual representation of the text that is within the fields, and then the actual vectors. So essentially, when your chunks are converted into vectors, so you can do a semantic lookup. Both of those are associated with the vector index creation process and accessed through the retriever. And finally, you have the layer that interacts with the user, and that's a prompt template. It could be a flow, but essentially a way for invoking the retriever so that it can fetch the vectors and give the results back to the user. We will see all of this live in action, so let's dive right into it. First thing we need to do is navigate to Data Cloud. You do that by clicking the app launcher and typing Data Cloud. And once you select Data Cloud and land on Data Cloud, you want to navigate to the Data Streams tab. In the Data Streams tab, select New and select the Salesforce CRM, because we are going to import the objects from the Salesforce CRM. Hit Next. It will give me an option to select between objects and bundles. So let's say I select object, and let's say I select opportunity and I hit Next. I want to ensure that I select an object category, so I'll just select other. I'll select bare minimum number of fields. I think I just want to select a relevant field like description, because I will vectorize that column. So let me select description and hit Next. And as you can see, now I'm going to deploy it to the default space, and the object name is opportunity underscore home, and refresh mode is upsert. I can specify filters, but for right now I'll just deploy. So once the DLO, or once the data stream is set up and deployed, it just takes a few seconds to deploy. So let's refresh it, and it's now active. So the next thing we're going to do is go into the data lake objects. we are going to see the opportunity home DLO created automatically. So if we click on this object, let's see what fields are here. So you can see some of the fields that I had selected. The description is here, but it also adds some other fields automatically, like the opportunity ID and the system mod stamp and the SFDC organization. These few fields were selected from the object, but then it also adds fields like data source object, and then the CDP underscore sys underscore source version. So once all these fields are added, we are just going to verify. We need to do mapping at some point, but we are not ready for it yet. We need to construct a data model. So let's look at how we construct the data model. When we navigate to the data model object field or the data model object tab, we will select new, and it gives us option to select a data model object or construct a data model object from existing, from file, or new. So let's say we are going to create a new custom data model object from scratch. So let's give it a name, opportunity DMO, and select the object category as other, and let's add a field. Let's add a field, call it opportunity description. And the data type we will select is as text, and save it. Okay, it asks us to select a primary key, so let's add another field called ID, and let's make it a text field, make it a primary key, and then let's save. So the custom data model object is successfully created, but now we need to map the data lake object fields into the data model object fields. So we'll do that next. In the data model object field, by default you will see the mapped ones are selected, but let's look at all, and this is where you would see the opportunity DMO. So let's go over here, type opportunity, and as you can see over here, we have an opportunity DMO data model object. So let's click on it. And as you can see right now, there is just the field names over here. We created the opportunity description and ID. So now let's do the mapping. So to do the mapping, we'll go back into the data streams, and we'll select the opportunity home and click on the data mapping thing on the right. So you click the start button on the right section. When you do that, you're going to see, so let's select, so you're going to see the fields from the DLO, but now we need to select what DMO we are going to map this to. So we will select the custom data model, and in the custom data model you'll see the opportunity DMO. So let's select that, and now let's start doing the mapping. So I'm going to map the opportunity ID to ID, and then I'm going to map the description to opportunity description. And once the mapping is done, you want to persist this. So I'll click the save and close. At this point in time, we have a data stream, we have a data lake object, we have a data model object, and we have mapped the data lake object fields into the data. To create an index, you click on the more and then select search index. So let's find search index over here, and click the new button, and we can do the easy setup, which I will not do because it will skip a few important screens which I want to show you. But let's do the advanced setup. So click advanced setup, hit next. This will walk you through how you want to index your data model object. So it gives an option to do just a vector search or a hybrid search. Hybrid search is more of a basically specific keywords, but along the same time you can do the semantic search. For this purpose, the purpose of this demo, I'm just going to do the vector search. So select data space default and let's select the object called opportunity. Select the opportunity DMO object, hit next. We are going to manage the fields that we are going to chunk. So I will only chunk the opportunity description, and it gives a lot of different chunking strategies. So right now I just have passage extraction setting, so hit save. It gives a lot of other options like post processing. You can enrich the chunks, but I'll skip all of this. Hit next. You select a vectorization embedding model. It gives multiple options. You can by default select the E5 large V2 embedding model. Hit next. Select the related fields for search filtering. So let's select what fields we want. I will say opportunity description and drag and drop it over here. Hit next. So now let's review all our settings. We have the search index configuration, we have the target data model object, and let's hit save. At this point in time, there is an asynchronous operation of creating an index that's in progress. So we'll have to wait for a few minutes to see when the index is created. So now we can see that the opportunity DMO search index is created, and as you can see, it was created on the source data model object from opportunity DMO. So now we will move to creating a retriever. To create a retriever, we will go to Einstein Studio, and in Einstein Studio click retrievers on the left and then select new retriever. For the purpose of this demo, I'm just going to use an individual retriever, but you can also use the ensemble retriever. Click next, select the data cloud, then you select the data space, which we will choose default. The data model object, we will choose the opportunity DMO. Data model object search index configuration, vector search. Click next. We will use all documents as filters for right now. We'll choose the default settings in the number of results to return. The field label, we'll choose description and use the field direct attributes opportunity DMO and use opportunity description. Click next and review all the settings and hit save, and you can provide a description. I'll skip it for now, and the retriever should now be ready to use. Actually, I have to activate before I can use it, so I hit activate and version 1 is now active. So now I will go into the prompt builder to see how all of this works together. So go to the setup, click prompts, the prompt, let's create a new prompt, and let's use flex prompt template. I'll say coders arc test for opportunity, and leave the description empty for right now. Let's just say ask a very basic question. Can you kindly share the theme, the top 3 themes from all the current opportunities? And now we will insert a resource, and in the resource we're going to click opportunity DMO and add the retriever, and click on the retriever, and then you can ask the same, please and save and preview. So it is asking for search text, so we have to scroll down a little bit, and we can say search for any interesting opportunities. And hit save and preview. So based on the retriever, now it's able to look in all the opportunities, and since I asked it to look for all the interesting opportunities, it's an open-ended search text, which means the LLM will creatively go through the entire opportunities description and see what are the interesting opportunities. And then I asked the instructions to the prompt was list the top three opportunities. So LLM was able to respond. So as you can see, I was able to connect a data stream into an opportunity object that existed within Salesforce. I was able to construct DLO, which is the data lake object, the raw point of entry. Then we created a data model object where we only selected some fields from that DLO, and then we created an index, then we created a retriever, and then finally we are able to use the prompt template to invoke that retriever to get the response. So initially this whole workflow can seem a little bit complex because just the UI, you have to navigate through the challenges on the UI, but overall hopefully this video cleared how you can achieve retrieval augmented generation based lookup on your existing Salesforce data. So with that said, if you found the value in this content useful, please hit the subscribe and like button, and goodbye for now.